I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah Kadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Blessings and salutations to the brothers pushing this truth all across the planet in Great Millstone and alike camps. Um, yeah, so I mean, we you should, as an Israelite, you should have already accepted martial law, right? You should already imagine if troops aren't in your streets, you should already imagine them there. But this is definitely the next thing, one of the next things that is coming down the line, right? And it's even happening before the economic collapse, before the chip rolls out, before the grocery stores are completely empty, right? It's sedition amongst men, all right? And right here I have trending news, right? Um, and it's anywhere from today, just some hours ago, all the way to a week ago, right? And it's the media is talking about how gun sales have gone up, right? Everyone's taking up the sword, all right? And depending on where and what state and how affected they are by this coronavirus, right? They're reporting sales have increased up to 10 times, right? What they were before. And seeing as how you're in Babylon the Great and all the, everybody got a damn gun. I'm in Texas and everybody has at least one firearm, at least one rifle, if not multiple. And that goes for Jake and Esau. That goes for Edomites, so-called white people, and Israelites, right? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? Everybody got the gat. So for it to go jump up 10 times, you're talking about people are fucking, buying arsenals, right? As well as the ammunition, right? And it just keeps going, gun sale. All I typed in was gun sales corona, and it's just all over the place. Pretty much every state. You got these lines, right? They're reporting these lines. Look at these lines. Look at that. And it's everybody. It's Esau. It's Jake. It's the heathen. Anybody that can get a hold of a piece legally is in line. And you know that both Jake and Esau, so-called white people and Israelites, they're buying out the local gun dealer on the block, right? The dude with the hot pieces, right? He's uncashed out. He ain't got nothing else to sell, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, he's not gonna do anything with all that money anyways. The economy shut down. Look, it doesn't end. So this is the topic of discussion. This is the next thing that's coming down the line, right? And you're gonna, like, yesterday I went to a small grocery store on the way back from the gym, just to pick up what I was going to eat that day, and they had already hired armed security, and he was walking back and forth between the check stands, and this is a nobody ass grocery store in a nobody town, and there was armed security, flexing with his Glock. All right, this is Second Ezra's 15, chapter 15 and 16. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. Right. So that sedition among men is being broadcasted on the TV. So that's playing for everyone to see. Right. That's one of the prophecies coming to fruition. Invading one another. That's coming. It could be fucking hours from now. It could be the next week. It could be tomorrow. Right. But it's going to happen. They shall not regard their kings nor princes. And that's kind of why people are being pushed to this limit, because they didn't regard their king or princes when the government came out and made these recommendations for people: social distancing, staying at home, close down the economy. So now, the government's been rolling out these National Guard troops in select states and cities, but it's coming to a town near you. It's coming to your town. It's going to be fucking everywhere, and people are hip to that, right? So not only are they taking up arms to disregard their kings and princes, they're also taking up arms to see who's gonna in their mind, right? They're thinking like, who's gonna make it out of this chaos that's about to happen? Who's gonna attain all that? Who's gonna attain food? Who's gonna attain water? Right? Who's gonna survive the violence? All right. And the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Right. So they're gonna take matters in their own hands, so to speak. 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. That's already done. That's happened. All right, we're already there. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, greatly troubled. Man, you can just, man, if you still got a job, you brothers that still got work, the water Yahweh Bashim Yoshai, you could see that these streets are empty, man. There's nothing going on. And if you do end up if you go to your work or a grocery store or a place that's still open that has some people in it, you just look in their face, man. They're troubled. They're troubled. The houses shall be destroyed and men shall be afraid. Okay, so the men are already afraid, but their house, what's coming up is their houses shall be destroyed. All right, they're going to be invading one another. They're going to be running through each other's shit. Man, they're already losing their shit because the grocery store ran out of toilet paper. What happens when everybody runs out of toilet paper in their own home? They're going to run up in their neighbor's house for the TP, for the water, for the canned goods, and the women. You know what I'm saying? That's something that no one's really talking about. All right. And you Israelite women, right now, you need to be out of sight, out of mind. All right. The brothers and Israelite men, from the apostles and others all on down, been, respectful, so to speak, and telling you to quiet down, not, don't speak so much, just listen to the videos, not to chime in with your comments, right, or anything really, whenever they're going live, and don't speak so much or don't type so much, right? But now more than ever, you need the best thing that you women who are hopeful, right, that are seeking salvation, the best thing you can do is keep your mouth shut. All right. Not only try to be out of sight, out of mind, but you still have to participate in whatever society is left. But keep your mouth shut. Don't, like, literally do not speak, because that brings attention to your ass. And in Israelite women, you're loud, you're boisterous, you're clamorous. You don't know how to be quiet. Not even when you're not speaking and you're just moving around, right? You're always shuffling and fucking around with something, making all kinds of clamor, making all kinds of noise for no fucking reason. All right? Stop. Do everything decently and in order and just be quiet. Because you don't want to be a blip. You don't want to come up as a blip on a wicked man's radar. And that's what happens when you open your mouth. Because 9 times out of 10, nothing, it's idle words. It's nothing useful coming out of your mouth. And even if it is, based on scripture, who are you to be out in the public talking to the heathen, talking to the enemy, talking to Esau, or talking to the Israelite man about any of that, right? It's time for you to seriously be quiet. 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. There it is. There's going to be no pity out here. All right. Esau Edom, the so-called white man, has conditioned everyone to be a savage beast just like he is, right? Through whatever means, movies, history, media, right? So everyone got this whole savage attitude on them. Everyone thinks they're just like the hardest thing on the block, right? So they're not going to pity their neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, right? And it's the person in their minds, the person, and it's going to be a reality, the man with the biggest gun and the most ammo is going to be the one who's spoiling the goods. And that includes you women. Once again, it got to highlight that, you know what I'm saying? Because you're part of that booty, so to speak. That's where that word comes from. like a pirate's booty, gold, silver, treasure, wine, goods, and women. You're part of that, right? If you're listening. So do what you need to do, be out of sight, out of mind, and keep your mouth shut and cover up. All right? It was all fun and games, letting shit slide, wearing pants, wearing the yoga pants, you know, you know, maybe you had to wear that shit to go to work or work out. Now those days are over. All right? You should be on your modest attire game right now, because now the gyms are closed. You ain't got to go to the gym. Most of you ain't got jobs. No, the society and economy has shut down. So what do you got to wear pants for? All right, you need to be on your hoodie and long skirt game, man. Because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. All right, tribulation is here, and it's only going to amplify. And the lack of bread is here. The bread that is on the shelf is that cheap ass 67-cent bread that nobody wants, man. It ain't even food. Who knows what the fuck it is? That's all that's left. And then that's going to be fucking gone, right? People are going to stop being fucking picky real quick. All right. This is Genesis 27 and 40. And by the sword, and this is where Israelites get this live by the sword mentality and attitude and spirit from. Genesis 27:40, right? And this is Isaac speaking to Esau, right? You know what? Let's start up here at 39. And Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, which, that's a clear cut to Esau Edom being the so-called white race, right? That descend from Esau. Clear cut right there, because you have the so-called white people have the fatness of the earth, point blank, period. All right. And of the dew of heaven from above and all the resources, right? 40. And by the sword shalt thou live. All right. Boom. Isaac, right? So, if you can receive it, who is Yahushai, right? Who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, blessed him with the sword, but at the same time cursed him, right? And shalt serve thy brother. And that's coming after Yahushai, who the world calls Jesus Christ, it establishes the kingdom of heaven. Esau, Edom, you so-called white people, you're going into captivity, you're going into slavery. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. All right, so the point is up here, and by the sword that shalt thou live. Esau, Edom was given the sword as a blessing by Isaac, right? Along with the fatness of the earth. And everybody follows suit, right? Everybody's going along to get along. They believe because the so-called white man has taken over the entire fucking planet with his sword, that's the way things are. And that couldn't be further from the truth. That's deception, right? And like I said, Isaac cursed and blessed him at the same time, because you hop on over to Matthew 26:52, it says, Then said Yahushai unto him, Put up again thy sword into his place, for all that take thee sword shall perish with the sword. So you live by the gun, you die by the gun. In other words, live by the sword, die by the sword. All right. And that's so that's what Isaac handed Esau, Edom. They're going to fall on their own sword, the ultimate sword being these nuclear missiles. And these dumbasses, right? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, the white race, they actually created so many nuclear missiles, right, that it could decimate the face of the earth. Okay. But the Lord's having them mainly focused on Babylon the Great, to where Babylon the Great, there's not going to be an inch of Babylon the Great, aka USA, that is not going to be completely nuked, melted, evaporated, turned to dust. All right. Things are going to be going on in other parts of the world, but the focus is on Babylon the Great. It's got to go, right? But to stick to the point, that's where these people get this spirit from. They get it from Esau, Edom, their master, their God king, their oppressor. That's where they get it from. That's where the Israelites get it from. And even these Moabites And these Ammonites, right? Gun sales surge in Asian, right? The Asians are the Moabites and Ammonites, according to the Bible. Communities amid outbreak, right? Gun sales surge in Asian communities amid coronavirus outbreak. So even the heathen nations, not just Israel, not just blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, are taking up arms like Esau, because that's what they put their trust in, right? Well, Esau, Edom put their trust in it, and it's going to be part of their downfall. All right. Deuteronomy 28:54. Okay. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother. And this is for you Israelites. All right. This is for you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. Okay. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother. And if you haven't been, right, everyone's heard of the Israelites. Everyone has heard of this truth, this word, the truth of the Bible, right? And most of Israel knows that they're Israel, right? Now, whether they adhere to it or not, that's on them, but they know. And they're going to be taking up arms against each other, right? Chirac, where blacks and Hispanics not only are killing their own respectively, but each other, that's going to be everywhere, because they're not going to be adhering to this word, right? They're not going to regard the fact that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, y'all are all brethren, right? And y'all make up the 12 tribes of Israel. But that's going to go out the window to the 2/3 of Israel that's destined for damnation. And they're going to have an evil eye towards their brother. So instead of taking up arms and going and, running through the white side of town, they're going to run into each other's homes in the hood, right? Instead of taking up arms, running through the police precinct, or, throwing a Molotov to the, to the local courthouse, they're going to be at each other because they got an evil eye towards each other, and they're not accepting the fact that they're brothers. All right. Which earns any Israelite man, any Israelite period, that right there, earns you death by pain, just that by itself, among a million other things, but that by itself, because you're supposed to have, it's one of the things that Yahushua, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, stressed, man. It was brotherly love. All right. Isaiah 13:14. And it shall be as the chase road. That's speaking of Esau, Edom, so-called white race. After the shit goes down, stuff pops off, right? Y'all are going to be dimed out, man. Y'all are going to be highlighted. It's going to be everyone for themselves for a hot minute. But when it comes down to, and everybody starts getting their right mind, and the elect men get their spiritual power, it's going to be you. All the attention is going to be focused on Esau, Edom, right? Because Esau is the end of the world. All right. This end of the world is, on your watch. It's happening on your watch. So you're responsible for it. And as a sheep that no man taketh up, man ain't. If you don't have Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh, which is who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai, his son, the Lord and Savior, right? Then you have no salvation. You have no hedge of protection. You have nothing. All right. And as a sheep that no man taketh up. All right. And that goes for Esau, Edom. He's a bastard, right? He is rejected by the Heavenly Father. They shall every man turn to his own people. There you go. And that's one of the things I wanted. This is one of the points out of Isaiah 13:14. That's going to happen. Israelites, blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, Esau, Edom, Asians, Moab, Ammon, so-called white people. It's going down. They're going to turn to their own people. 2/3 of Israel is going to make the mistake of killing other Israelites, right? And best believe that Esau, Edom, they're going to be getting at each other, but they're mainly going to be getting at the 2/3 of Israel, all right? Israel as a whole, really, because the hopeful elect, the 1/3 of Israel, they're going to, a lot of people are, a lot of, you know, within the elect, man, there's going to be martyrs and flee everyone into his own land. And you already see that happening, right? Before this coronavirus even took place, there was the media would occasionally put out how migration and immigration is at an all-time low, and a lot of so-called immigrants were going back to their own countries because they could see that this place was, circling the drain. Psalms 44:6. For I will not trust in my bow, neither shall my sword save me. 7. But thou hast saved us from our enemies and hast put them to shame that hated us. All right. So the point is, you can't trust in the sword, right? Now, hopeful members of the elect and 1/3 of Israel, right? They have firearms, man, and I'm sure a lot of Israelites who are woke, who have families and wives, kids, they got firearms, all right? But the faith shouldn't be in the firearm, If it goes down like that, it just goes down like that. But ultimately, your faith is not in that firearm, but Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right? So you should know that, it's a tool. It's a tool for a last resort, but it won't ultimately, at the end of the day, save you, because only Yahweh Bashem Yahushai can do that. All right? Psalms 18:34. He teaches my hands to war, so that a bow of steel is broken by mine arms. Have faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, because the elect men, right? The hopeful elect, when it comes down to it, and this thing reaches its pinnacle, its peak, you're going to be granted those spiritual powers of all kinds and things that we can't even think or imagine or meditate on, right? And that want to get back at your enemy, right? That want will be, righteously granted to you, and you're going to be able to do it in a manner never seen before, right? Through the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So, it's worth it's completely worth it. That goes without question, but putting your complete faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, right? And not a sword, may lead you to, Lord willing, those spiritual powers, right? And you're going to do more damage than a firearm or rifle could ever do, right? One versus hundreds, King David versus hundreds versus 1,000, and he took them all down, right? That's going to be the elect man. Every member of the hopeful elect, right, is going to be able to do that with no sword involved, man. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on that. The sedition amongst men. Esau and his blessing, and it's his blessing. It ain't Moab's blessing. It ain't Jacob's blessing. It ain't Israel's blessing. It's Esau's blessing. So let Esau do his thing, right? It's his blessing, and no one else. So let him have it. It's gonna be his downfall too. All right. So hopefully this video was edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakal, Kadash. And with that, peace and blessing to the brothers pushing out this truth. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone.